Hi guys, my name is Sanjay Gupta. I'm a consultant cardiologist in York. Now, I wanted to do this video at the beginning of the new year, but unfortunately it's taken this long. So, um, the beginning of a new year brings with it hopes of maintaining and improving one's health and overall quality of life, okay? And as we start this new year, many people will make a New Year's resolve to work on their health. And most people would say, look, I want to go and get more exercise. I'm going to go and join a gym. I'm going to get fitter and lose weight. And a lot of people will also say, I'm going to pay more attention to what I eat. And while these are very, very laudable endeavors, they're very worthwhile, I think there are perhaps a couple of other aspects to our lives that we should target and which are perhaps even more important in terms of maintaining our quality of life and our overall health than exercise and nutrition. And that is sleep and stress management. So I would say that high quality, good quality sleep and managing stress are perhaps even more important than nutrition and exercise. And actually thinking about our sleep and investing in our sleep will pay huge dividends in terms of our quality of life and our length of life. Let's think about it this way. How many people have started the new year and said, look, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to go and invest in some shoes and some fitness gear and really try and get fitter. And then think about how many people will have said, actually, I'm really going to invest in my sleep this year. I'm going to go out and buy a new mattress. I'm going to go out and buy proper, comfortable bed clothes. I'm going to really pay attention to my sleep. And this is the problem, you see. We tend to largely ignore sleep because we just assume that if we don't sleep well, then that's just part and parcel of who we are. But this is not true. Good sleep is something that we can all try and achieve. And actually, the more you invest in it, both in terms of mind, body, effort, money, the better it gets. So here's a little bit about sleep, and I'll tell you a little bit about why sleep is so important. Okay, good sleep is essential for long-term health. Good sleep promotes a good quality of life and also a long lifespan. So it is one of the best things you can do to live longer. So this year, rather than ask yourself the question, do I sleep okay? Ask yourself this question. When I wake up, do I feel refreshed? And if you do not feel refreshed, then there's something going on with your sleep, okay? And you have to start thinking about a strategy to try and improve your sleep. So there's a few things that I want to tell you. Sleep disturbances are extremely common. About 1 in 3 people have difficulty getting a restful night's sleep. 50 to 70 million people in America alone suffer from sleep disturbances, and unfortunately the majority of it don't even know about it, all right? 85% of a condition called sleep apnea remains undiagnosed. So the next thing is, what is normal sleep? What is normal sleep? A normal night's sleep can be divided into 3 parts, okay? There is deep, restful sleep, and this can be divided into 4 stages, and the higher the number, the deeper and the more restful the sleep is. Then there is something called REM sleep. REM sleep is when our bodies are limp, but our mind is active, our brain is active. This is where, we dream more, okay? And during this, the eyes move rapidly. And REM sleep is associated with sympathetic activation, which means there's more adrenaline in our bodies at that time. And then in a normal sleep, there's also short periods where people wake up, maybe for 1 or 2 minutes, but they don't realize they've woken up because you have to be woken for more than 2 minutes to remember that you were awake. And each night we have about 4 to 5 periods of deep sleep, and then we have 4 to 5 periods of this REM sleep where our bodies are still limp but our minds are more active. And then we have short periods of waking, but these tend to occur as we get closer to the end of the night and towards the beginning of the next day. How much sleep do you need? Well, most research says that you should try and aim for about 6 to 9 hours of sleep. Too little is very bad. Too much is very bad. So certainly 7 to 8 hours of sleep on a regular basis is what I would recommend, and this is what comes out of most research. Although people function in the short term on 3 or 4 hours sleep, their body is going through a ton okay? And therefore, it is a good idea that if that's happening, that there has to be an aim to try and improve sleep patterns. What are the consequences of poor sleep in the short term? Well, obviously tiredness, loss of energy, loss of interest in activities, irritability, poor concentration, depression, anxiety, and generally a much worse quality of life. However, in the long term, sorry, this is Bluebell. In the long term, sleep disturbances are associated with development of lots of chronic diseases. Okay, in particular, number one, obesity. So weight gain is associated with lack of sleep. All right. The reason is, and there have been studies where people who have slept less than 6 hours daily, who sleep less than 6 hours daily, have a higher body mass index than people who sleep 8 hours. And sleep is now considered a risk factor for obesity. Okay, and there are two hormones that I wanted to just tell you about, which are really interesting. The first one is called leptin. Okay, this is a hormone which alerts the brain that it has enough food. And if you have sleep problems, then leptin levels seem to fall. And this makes the brain think that there's not enough food in the body because the body is not, as nourished and rested. The second hormone is something called ghrelin, Grelin, which is a biochemical that stimulates our appetite. And with poor sleep, our ghrelin levels go up, and therefore the combination of this lower leptin and higher ghrelin makes us crave for higher sugar content foods, so more sweet foods for a quick energy boost. And then what happens is we start putting on the weight, and because we haven't slept very well, we don't have the energy to burn it off. So obesity is a big problem. Diabetes is a big problem with lack of sleep. So undoubtedly, insufficient sleep increases the risk of diabetes, especially type 2 increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. In one short-term sleep study, they found that if you took a bunch of healthy volunteers and stopped them from sleeping for more than 4 hours, their blood glucose processing became a lot slower and their blood sugars went up. And people who sleep less than 5 hours a night have a much higher risk of developing diabetes. Okay. Then high blood pressure is the other thing. There are so many studies which have shown that a single night of inadequate sleep will increase your blood pressure and cause an increase in the blood pressure the next day. So a lot of people say, well, why is my blood pressure going up? And if you look, a lot of them will say, actually, my sleep has been disturbed recently. So if you sleep less than 6 hours, your blood pressure is undoubtedly going to be much higher. There's going to be a higher risk of heart disease and strokes compared to if you sleep more than 6 hours. Certainly you don't want to be sleeping more than 9 hours because that in itself indicates a problem within the body. And also there is no doubt that chronic sleep is associated with a higher prevalence of stress, anxiety, and depression. Okay, those people who sleep for less than 5 hours report feeling stressed, sad, angry, and mentally exhausted. People are also less optimistic and less sociable. One other thing I wanted to tell you, which is very interesting, is that actually lack of sleep contributes to pain. So if you have pain because of bad joints or pain anywhere in the body, if you don't sleep well, then that pain gets worse. So one of the best ways to try and improve your pain is actually to concentrate on your sleep. So I will start giving you some tips very soon on how to improve your sleep, but I do think this is a worthwhile thing to listen to because just understanding how important sleep is the first step in trying to really make a change. There is no doubt in my mind, if you sleep better, you feel better. If you sleep better, you look better. If you sleep better, you act better. If you sleep better, your overall quality of life improves. If you sleep better, your length of life improves. So well worth doing. So I would say that make your New Year's resolution the pursuit of good sleep. Ask yourself, do I feel refreshed in the morning when I wake up? And if you don't, let's go for it. Let's try and work on your sleep patterns. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the great comments. Please, I will start putting some videos on YouTube, some videos on Facebook. So there will be a variety of different videos available. So if you get a chance, please come and join my Facebook page. And also, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, which is York Cardiology, YORK, Cardiology, CARDIOLOGY. Thank you so much. All the best.